Well, folks, welcome to this week's A Sportsman's Life. Look who Mr. Jeff and I have with us. Mr. Whitetail is going to be has been part of our show for a few weeks. Larry is going to impart some knowledge each week and some fun.
It's all fun.
It is all fun, and I am truly honored to be with you guys. I'll tell you what, Luke and I have been doing radio for a while. Almost 11 years, every Saturday morning or throughout the week as well too, and I've had the opportunity to spend time around Jeff through Luke, and I am truly honored to be part of this. And really what my kind of part that I kind of see is kind of a Q&A kind of thing, where we'll talk about different hunting tips, learning about optics, learning about hunting gear, learning about rifles, all those kind of things. Just pure simple information that you may already know, but you know, there are a lot of people getting into the outdoors, so we're going to try to take it very basically and bring it forward.
Excellent. And folks, if you think running with these two rascals is not fun, this is really serious hard work, but we're going to jump into our show, so stay with us every week. Larry's going to be here, Jeff's always with us. We're going to have a great time, and we want you to be right here every week with us. Well, folks, thanks for tuning in today to A Sportsman's Life. My buddy Jeff here is packing a pistol today. We like to do fun stuff, but we also like to eat game. Pull that out. We're going squirrel hunting, and this is not really something that's a novelty. I mean, see the long barrel on that thing? We've been shooting it up to about 25 yards. Absolutely lethal. We're going to do something a little different. We're looking for, I want to make a pot of squirrel stew.
Absolutely.
I'm going to make a pot of squirrel stew.
You bet.
Jeff is going to harvest. We're going to get back and try to get on film Jeff shooting a squirrel or two with this thing. And if it sounds like a pie in the sky, it's not. It's going to happen.
So we're going to do our best.
We just got out of the woods, folks, and these squirrels are rutting. If you think white-tailed deer are the only thing that rut, well, look at one boar squirrel chasing three.
Yep.
You know, no, but there's just tons of squirrels. So we're pretty confident we're going to go get us the makings of a Brunswick stew, let's call it.
We took a walk in the woods, and there were squirrels chasing squirrels everywhere. And it's like, all right, hold on. It's time to do a squirrel hunt. So
That's good.
We're packing our little pistol. We're just going to give it a try. I think that'll be kind of fun. We're just going to go enjoy an absolutely gorgeous day here. And let's go see what we can do, buddy.
Let's do it. It's going to happen, so let's go get it. I'm very confident. big old box squirrels.
All right, folks, and welcome back to the show. What do you think, buddy?
This man has killed 2, and actually right here. I mean, these squirrels, as you can tell, these are boar squirrels, and there was one sow squirrel that they were chasing.
Yep.
Now these are, for our uninitiated squirrel eaters, these are dumpling squirrels. We're going to make some stew out of these, but these are not frying squirrels. You could pressure cook them.
Yep.
And then put some flour and you know, fry them with a skillet with a lid. But these are going to make some really good squirrel stew. And big old squirrels.
Big old butterballs, aren't they?
Man alive, I'm telling you.
So yeah, let's truck along here. We're just kind of walking through the woods here slowly, folks. And these squirrels, are, as Luke alluded to, they're mating. I mean, they're in their breeding season as well. And we're seeing squirrels everywhere. And so we're gonna continue our adventure, and we're gonna get several more of these, and we're gonna make a show of it, huh?
You betcha. We're going, and then the finishing product, or the end result, will be some really, really good squirrel stew. So let's do it.
All right, folks.
Let's go get some more. You want to?
Yeah, let's take a commercial break. We'll be back with more squirrel action here on the Sportsman's Life.
Folks, as an old outdoors rider, I have used lots of products. Smoke and Tex electric smokers. The best smokers that you can find. This is Diz and this is Scott, my buddies. Diz, tell them how they can learn more about Smoke and Tex.
Yeah, obviously the #1 source of information is going to be our website. It's got hundreds of recipes, it's got helpful guides, it's got all of our models and our accessories listed there. Of course, we have a phone number, 888-922-1511, and we'll actually answer our own phones.
That's true. And Diz, the main thing, the easy way, smokingtex.com. You can learn all about it.
Correct. And of course, we're on all the social media, Instagram, Facebook, etc. So take a look at us whenever you can, and whatever social media you'd like, and we look forward to working with you.
All right, folks, we're back. Got the pistol here. We got a squirrel up in a tree over here. So Luke and I are going to go get set up, sneak up on this guy, and see if we can't drop one more. So the squirrels are moving everywhere today. So this is awesome. All right, let's go get them. Yeah, buddy, there we go. One more to add to the pile. Perfect shot. Come on in here.
Yep, I'll tell you, bud. And got him on film too, buddy.
There we go. We've got 3 down now, and we're seeing plenty of squirrels. Big old dudes too.
I do see the pot of stew. Folks, you know, a lot of people hunt squirrels with either a scope 25 caliber Condor, or that's an Air Force Air Guns 25 caliber, or 22 with a scope. This man hunts them with a long barrel 22 revolver, shooting long rifles in there.
Yeah, that long barrel though tends to be real accurate.
I've noticed,
And
man.
all you gotta do is just you know your gun, obviously shoot it a bunch and get comfortable with it, and the end result is squirrel stew.
Let me take this and hand you this, and let's go get some more.
Let's go get them. All right, bud.
This is the makings of our stew. Jeff here, 6-shooter. We don't see this happen very often, but that's the way he hunts squirrels. That'll work, Jeff.
That'll work, you betcha.
Already, I knew what was going to happen, so we've got plenty of vegetables.
Yep.
Back at camp.
Yep.
Let's make some stew. I'm going to put these in a pressure cooker and cook them for about probably 45 minutes. And then I think they'll be real tender. A couple of big old boar fox squirrels right here.
Yeah, we got one more sitting over there, so we got 3 to cook.
Yeah,
so.
right. I can only, these suckers. All right, let's go. First off, we got to turn these things into some squirrel meat. So go over to the skinning rack and
That's right.
let's skin them out and get with it.
Folks, thank you so much for joining us. This has been a lot of fun. Chasing squirrels in the woods, man, with a 22 pistol. It doesn't get any better than that, my friend.
Challenging. Well, hello, my friends. It's your old buddy Luke Clayton. and I'm coming to you from out in the woods by my little cabin behind the house here in the trees. I want to talk to you today, maybe get you fired up doing something you're hunting a little different. For years and years, I grew up shooting when I was a kid, 30-30, and I still hunt with a 30-30 sometime. Then I became a bow hunter. That's all I did. What do you hunt with? Oh, I'm a bow hunter. Well, I'm still a bow hunter, but I hunt with other things too. And I found it to be a lot of fun. This is an Air Force Air Guns Texan, folks, 45 caliber. I shoot Nelson Specialty Ammo swage bullets in this thing. Big old bullets, 240 grains and bigger. I've probably killed 30 hogs, just guessing, with it. I've killed a lot of exotics, 8 or 10 exotics. I killed a nice buck up on the Dale River Ranch with my Air Force Air Guns Texan. It's a hammer for hogs. Why did I get started in shooting a big bore air gun, or air guns in general? I can answer that. I knew nothing about a PCP air gun that you air up with a tank. And it was just a fun learning curve. And I still love to hunt with my Texan, and I do a lot. Another air gun, this is a Seneca Dragon Claw, and it shoots bullets also, but it shoots the air bolt. You see Mr. Weissoon, Larry, with us quite a bit. He shot a good eater pig, you might remember recently, with his Seneca Dragon Claw. So, load it with an arrow. Not legal during archery season, so don't worry about that. But during rifle season, it's just something different that you might want to try. Seneca Dragon Claw, 50 caliber. Now, if I want to go out, say I want to hunt hogs at night, I have the Wraith right here by Sightmark. You've seen me bragging on this, and actually seen a lot of video of the Wraith. It's digital night vision. It's a day and night scope, actually. I've hunted with it during the day. Use it at night also. I mean, it's just shoot a hog at 125 yards on a pitch dark night, no problem. So I have it mounted on probably a little contradictory to what most hog hunters do. They have the ARs, but mounted on a little 223. And this, I have killed a bunch of hogs. So if I want to shoot a hog at night, I grab this, make sure my batteries are hot in my Wraith, and I go get them. Now, okay, what about the old 30-30? I still like to hunt with it. It's what you stalking hogs in the woods. This little thing is so light. I did mount a quality peep sight on the back. I had to buy another front sight that was the right height. This thing at 75 yards will shoot like a 2-inch group all day long and out to 100. I feel comfortable shooting it out to 100 yards. So another tool that I hunt with. Am I a 30-30 hunter? Sometimes, but not all the time. And then something that's really overlooked, in my opinion, is small game hunting. This is a Ruger 1022 scoped, and it's an absolute tack driver. I sighted in at about 50 feet where it's dead on. For squirrel hunting, you can knock the squirrel out of the tallest pin oak tree with this. So what I'd like you to take away from this little segment here, don't be afraid to try something new. Don't box yourself in that, to the point that you won't try a new sporting arm or a bow or whatever. Try something new, and don't forsake, dance with what brung you. I still shoot my gearhead bows, but it's just so much fun, really, folks, to try different things in the outdoors. So we'll get back to our show. Hopefully this will maybe spark you on, if you've never done, I have a muzzle loader in there in the cabin. I still hunt with a muzzle loader every now and then. I still like it. But try something new in the outdoors, folks. I think it might just put the spark back into your hunting. Well, hello, my friends. It's your old buddy Luke Clayton, and it's time to put those squirrels that Jeff Rice killed with that long barrel pistol to work. We're going to put them in a cast iron pot. Now, normally I use a Dutch kettle, but I have used this old skillet, I'll hold it up here, so many years that it holds a lot of stew. We're going to make some squirrel stew. And I'm going to hone the camera in. I'm kind of a one-man show out here today, but I'm going to put the camera in close and give you an idea of all the ingredients that we're going to use. It's really simple. Squirrel meat is really, really good. I've cooked this meat down, boiled it down to where it's tender, and we're going to bone the squirrel out, just have squirrel meat rather than the whole bone in. Just thinks it makes a stew a lot easier to eat, really. But let me hone in on it with the camera and show you all the ingredients that we're going to put in this squirrel stew. The squirrel will just be squirrel meat at this stage. It'll be already boned when you actually see the finished product. Usually I use a Dutch kettle, bigger Dutch kettle, but I'm not making a whole lot of squirrel stew here. We're putting 3 squirrels, the pieces of squirrels that are going to be boned out. So we're not going to have any bone in this. It's going to be just squirrel meat, which I like it that way. You don't have to worry about picking through the bones. So here's the ingredients right here that we've got to put in the squirrel stew. I like a tomatoey squirrel stew, so we're going to put a can of crushed tomatoes in there. Big onion, I'm going to chop this onion up and put it in there. About three ribs of celery, that'll do it. You can put more celery if you like it. I love celery, but that ought to do it. And an Anaheim or a poblano pepper, love these things. And actually I've got some dried chipotle pepper that I'm going to shake into this. Actually some jalapeno that I dried myself, made chipotle peppers out of it. So we're going to shake a little of that in there for heat. And I went ahead and sprung for the baby carrots. You know, we're not going to have to chop all these carrots up. So the carrots will go in there. Some mixed vegetables. You know, we've got corn and beans and peas in this. Of course, the squirrel meat will be already cooked tender, deboned, and then I'm going to, all these ingredients, they don't need that long to cook, probably 30 minutes for all this. And then I'm going to add some cubed up potatoes. I think potatoes are a must. Now, of course, I was raised on rice. We're going to put some, you can use long grain rice, whatever kind of rice you like. Toss in a little rice on your squirrel stew. I think that'll add a little bit to it. So, squirrel meat in, we're going to add all the vegetables now. And this is my old skillet. You've seen it on a lot of these shows, but it holds a lot of volume actually. Normally I would use one of my Dutch kettles, but I thought, you know, we'd just use this lid. The amount of stew that we're going to make, this will be just right. So stick with me. We're going to cook all this down. Now I'm going to give you a close-up shot of the finished product, and we'll put some in a bowl. And I wish we could somehow magically, you know, transform you here. But I think all those naysayers that say, squirrel, Luke's talking about eating squirrel. You can't eat squirrel. I bet I'll change your mind. So let's start cooking. Let's get right over here. I gotta have those vegetables. I thought you might want to take a look at these vegetables. All chopped up and ready for put in this cast iron right here for about 45 minutes. That squirrel meat will be real tender in just a little bit. Probably another 15 minutes on the squirrel meat. Well, friends, here is our finished product. A big old heavy skillet full of squirrel stew. Now, let's move it. You'll see some rice in this. To me, a stew has to have a little bit of rice. But this is, of course I tested this before I showed it to you. I wanted to make sure we were on track with this. I'll tell you what, I wish you could be with us, because if you could, I would serve you up this bowl right here of squirrel stew. Let's put you another. Folks, don't let people tell you that squirrel is not good eating. Now, when I was a kid up in East Texas growing up, we had squirrel often. Although there were not nearly as many squirrels back then as there are now, because, you know, deer and wild hogs most people hunt them, but do not overlook the squirrel. You can see that if you look really close, you'll see some little chunks of squirrel meat, but the squirrel meat is really, really tender. There we go, folks. Squirrel stew. Well, folks, you know, a couple of years ago, Texas made it legal to hunt with air rifles, big bore air rifles. Now, me and my buddy, Mr. Wysoon here, Larry has got an air rifle that shoots arrows.
Also known as bolts, I have learned.
Bolts. Bolts are arrows. And this is the Seneca Dragon Claw, 50 caliber. It also shoots bullets.
It does. I prefer to shoot the arrows because it's a little bit different compared to everything that I've done in the past. I used to tease people, you ever going to shoot a bow again? I said, yeah, as soon as I can shoot it out of a gun. Well, guess what? Now I can shoot a broadhead bolt out of an air gun with
That's
this
right.
particular model.
And we're out here hog hunting on our buddy Jeff Rice's buck and bass ranch. Got a broadhead on there. Cape buffalo have been killed with this rig.
Right. Keith Warren is taking Cape buffalo, and don't tell him what else he's taking in Africa. So it's a great tool. It's a new way of hunting as far as I'm concerned, and I'm anxious to try it this year.
And Larry, that's part of it. It was new to me when I first started shooting air guns about 9 years, big bore air guns, PCP guns. It was brand new, and that was part of the allure to me. It was something new, and I got to learn about it. Now, so Larry has the arrow hunting with the bolt or the arrow covered with the Seneca Dragon Claw. Great setup. Now, if you want to use, now this is what I hunt with. This is Air Force Air Guns Texan. Now, this is the carbine model. They make a longer barreled model that gets a little more velocity, but I've killed a bunch of critters, hogs, and I killed a nice buck with this rig last year. So Air Force Air Guns Texan, they make, this is 45 caliber. They make a 50 caliber, which I haven't shot yet, but this will generate over 500 foot-pounds of energy. So bullets, Mr. Wysoon's got his arrows. You think, well, what kind of bullets? You'd think, well, it's an air gun, maybe a little light bullet. These are Swage bullets here, and Nielsen Specialty Ammo makes them. Now, you probably can't see them this close, but they're a very well-made, well-designed bullet as far as for air guns, strictly. So, Larry, I think we maybe give the folks a good primer in air gunology.
It is. It's a new way of hunting, legal now in Texas. Bows, this one can't be used during the archery season, but it can be used with an arrow during the regular hunting season. So just something new to play with and a new kind of adventure. And if you haven't tried it yet, let me suggest that you do. I think you'll be truly impressed.
I think so, Larry. And for folks that, well, where do I get all this stuff? Pyramid Air is the largest air gun supply company in the world. Just go to Pyramid Air. They have people there that you can actually call if you're going to have some questions. If you don't know someone that's already shooting these big bores, well, Pyramid Air has some folks that can help you out. So hopefully this little tutorial with Mr. Wysoon and myself, hopefully it'll help you get started in something that's fun to do.
Most of us, when we get a brand new gun, we can't wait to get out and shoot it. Or we've got an old gun, we can't wait to get out and shoot it. We'll talk about ammo some other times, but there are a few little things that you can do to make yourself a whole lot more accurate shooter and a quicker shooter, to get on target a whole lot quicker. This is how the rifle comes from a factory right here. This happens to be a little bit of a custom job on a Ruger 77 Hawkeye. Their guide gun version, which is a relatively short barrel. It works absolutely great for this caliber, the 375 Ruger. But I want to show you something. I've got the scope mounted. This is the Trigicon. It's a 2.5 by 12.5 by 42 with the rings that come with the rifle. It's a 30mm tube. When you mount the rifle, you want your cheek, and I think Luke called this a spot weld. I've got Luke over here coaching me in all this. It's spot weld. That's what the military calls it. And what you're doing is you want your eye directly in line with what the sights are. Now, if you'll notice, that center of that scope's hitting me about right there. It's not hitting me right there. So to me, what you want to do is kind of like shooting a shotgun. If you pick up a shotgun, I make sure it's unloaded, and we know this one's unloaded for sure because I've checked it numerous times before we started this. But when you pick up a shotgun, you mount it, close your eyes, and open your eyes, and you want that line of sight that you can see right straight down the barrel. Well, that's not happening with this. So Hornady, among other things, besides making absolutely fantastic ammo, builds these cheek pads such as this right here. They're relatively inexpensive. You can go to the website, the Hornady website, and get one of them, and they come in black and and tan. And also, if you're a left-hand shooter, they'll set up for a left-hand shooter. These are real easy to install. Now, this particular one I just pulled off of here, so I know it's in pretty good shape. But a lot of times too, they'll come with a some shims, if you will. So we'll look at it in just a little bit. But if you can't get it properly seated against that buttstock, then you can use these shims like this one to put on. But I know that this one works because I just pulled it off of there, so it's very easy to put on. Slip it on there and just tighten it up, and we'll get it good and tight here in a second. And these are adjustable for different guns, so if your gun's a little bit different than what this is, you may have to pull it apart, and it comes together very easily. It's made pretty much with Velcro all the way through, so it does very easily. Now, okay, we got this in place. I happen to know that this one works pretty good now. Now if I put this gun up, close my eyes, get that weld right there, and open my eye, guess what? My eye is right at the center of the scope. When you look through the scope, you want to see the full value of that scope. You don't want to see just almost like a donut kind of situation. So you can put shims underneath there if you need to, whether you're left-handed or right-handed. But again, make sure that gun's empty. Get in a room by yourself or out at the range. Close your eyes, put it to the shoulder with a good spot right there against solidly against your shoulder. Close your eyes, press down with your cheek, open your eye, and if that eye is lined up perfectly with that scope, you're going to be able to get on target a whole lot quicker than you could if you're having to look, trying to find where that sweet spot of that scope is. So little tips like that, again, from Hornady. They're available elsewhere. The best ones I've ever found came from Hornady, however. And what I like about it, you can carry shells in here, you can carry a hunting license in here, you can carry your range card in here, whatever you want to do, and you can carry extra shells as well too. So go to Hornady, get a good cheek pad, and put it on your rifle, and guess what? You're going to be able to find that target you're shooting at a whole lot quicker, and you're going to shoot a whole lot more accurately.
Well, friends, welcome back. Thanks again for joining us on this week's show. Gosh, guys, we have so much fun doing this stuff, don't you think? I mean,
I know.
This is out of this world fun. I can't tell you how much I appreciate and how honored I truly am to be with you guys. Well, and all those folks out there too.
Absolutely. We want to thank you folks for joining us each week. We have fun bringing this stuff to you, and we certainly appreciate you joining us, liking us, sharing us, and joining us for another adventure. We'll have another exciting adventure next week, so stay tuned, and until then, be safe in the outdoors.
And a special thanks to Air Force Air Guns, Dallas Safari Club, Hornady, Pyramid Air, Nielsen Specialty Ammo, Sightmark, Smoke and Tex, and Striper Express.